The quiet front, clean voiceover script. He clocks in at the security desk at 6 p.m. Same Navy uniform, same laminated badge, same metal stool he sat on for 9 years since he left the Army. Behind him, 40 security monitors flicker in gray silence. In front of him, a lobby that empties out by 6:30 every night. He served 20 years. 3 deployments, a knee that aches before rain. A hearing loss in his left ear he stopped mentioning to doctors. When he retired, he took a job nobody glamorizes. Night security at an office building downtown. His old squad still calls him Sarge, half out of habit. Half because nobody's found a better word for what he was to them. What none of them know is that, for 18 of his 20 years in uniform, he redirected a fixed portion of every paycheck. Combat pay, deployment bonuses, per diem he never fully spent, into a retirement account he opened at 23 and never touched. $400 a month, sometimes more during deployments when there was nothing to spend it on, but MREs and boredom. He clocked in at the security desk that first week like nothing about his finances mattered. Because to everyone in that lobby, it genuinely didn't. The account grows the way real wealth grows. Invisibly, without ceremony, through decades most people don't have the patience for. $80,000 becomes $600,000 over 12 years of deployments and re-enlistments. He still eats the same instant coffee from the break room. He still drives a truck with 190,000 miles on it. The same one he bought used the year he made sergeant. His old squad mates, scattered across the country now in mechanic shops and warehouse jobs, assume he's exactly where they are financially, one paycheck from behind. He's never corrected that assumption. Correcting it felt like bragging about surviving something they all survived together. By year 15 of investing, the account crosses $2 million. He finds out sitting at the security desk on a slow Tuesday night, glances at his phone for 4 seconds, and goes back to watching the lobby cameras. He tells exactly one person, his wife fully, on their 10th anniversary, over a dinner he almost canceled because a headache made him not want to go out. She's quiet for a long moment, then asks why he still works the night desk. He says, because the quiet reminds me of guard duty. It's the only kind of quiet I know how to sit in. That's true. It's also not the whole answer. By the time he's crossed $12 million, most of his old unit still thinks of him as the guy who couldn't quite land on his feet after service. Steady, dependable, but never quite thriving the way some of the officers did. He's let them believe it for 9 years, because correcting it felt like abandoning the version of himself they all recognized, one of his old squad mates. A man named Delgado, who pulled him out of a vehicle after an IED strike in his second deployment, calls him on a Thursday night. His voice is different, thinner, careful. He's been struggling since he got out. The VA wait list for PTSD treatment runs 8 months in his area. A private program exists that could see him in 2 weeks. It costs $19,000 he doesn't have. He sits with the phone against his ear for a long moment, doing math that has nothing to do with the number Delgado gave him. He has $23.5 million. He could pay for the entire program without noticing the difference in his own bank balance by the following morning. He doesn't sleep that night. Not because of the money was never the hard part. The hard part is what it means to be the guy who quietly had the answer to a friend suffering the entire time, while that friend spent 8 months on a wait list believing there was no other option. He calls the private treatment program the next morning under a different name. A small veterans assistance fund he sets up through his accountant, one with no connection to his own identity. He tells the intake coordinator he wants to sponsor one veteran's treatment anonymously. Referred through the program's existing waitlist priority system, Delgado gets a call 3 days later. A spot opened up, fully covered by a Veterans Support Foundation. No explanation beyond that. He calls him back, ecstatic, asking if he's heard of the organization. He says he hasn't, but he's glad it exists. That part isn't a lie either. He goes home that morning after his shift and doesn't mention it to his wife, even though she signed off on the transfer weeks earlier. She just looks at him across the kitchen table and says nothing needs saying. It's the truest conversation they don't have all week. He clocks in at the security desk again that evening. Same Navy uniform, same laminated badge, same metal stool. Delgado calls a month later, voice steadier than it's been in years, thanking whatever stranger paid for his treatment. He says he wishes he could shake that person's hand. He says he understands completely. He didn't build that fortune to be somebody. He built it so that one ordinary Thursday, a friend who once pulled him out of a burning vehicle could get the help he needed in 2 weeks instead of 8 months, without ever knowing why. That Thursday came. Nobody clapped. He just clocked in the next night and watched the lobby cameras until sunrise.